Welcome to Beyond the Trailers coverage of the 2015 Academy Awards, giving you an in-depth look at the top categories. More of an ode to longevity, Best Supporting Actor isn't anywhere near as competitive as the race for Best Actor, but it is also chock full of fan favorites. And while J.K. Simmons is likely to win this thing for reals, you can still support your personal favorite by voting in Beyond the Trailers' annual Oscar poll. Now let's take a closer look at the nominees.
Robert Duvall, The Judge.
So how exactly did Robert Duvall end up in here for a movie which bombed both at the box office and with critics? Well, while there are more repeat female nominees due to lack of competition, there are a few male nominees who are also Academy favorites, and Duvall is one of them. This is Duvall's 7th nomination, and he already won with nomination number 4 back in 1984 for his lead role in Tender Mercies. Duvall's popularity with Academy voters might also have to do with many of them being his contemporaries. They came up with the 84-year-old, and even though they couldn't keep up with him, they admire how he's still in the game. And on that note, with this nomination, he's the oldest actor ever to be nominated in this category. So yeah, he's probably not going to win this time around, but with 3 more films already set for this year, 2015 alone, that 8th nomination is surely on the horizon as well.
Ethan Hawke, Boyhood.
So this is Ethan Hawke's 4th Oscar nomination, and 3 of those are thanks to Richard Linklater. Talk about a great actor-director partnership. 2 of those nominations are for screenwriting, by the way, for their Before Indie trilogy with Julie Delpy. Hawke and Linklater might not have produced a lot of box office hits, but they've certainly earned quite a bit of prestige, perhaps all leading up to this moment. Yeah, Hawke's not going to win here, but he's still part of a movie, Boyhood, that's having a glorious award season and is a frontrunner in many other Oscar categories this year. That and his own nomination are a big win for Hawke, who's fallen a bit off the radar recently. Sure, he has a very solid career making horror movies and intelligent indie genre films that often amass a cult following, but remember the days when, hey, wait a minute. Actually, it turns out Ethan Hawke was never a big movie star. His biggest movie to date has been Training Day, but that was really Denzel's movie, and Oscar, although Hawke was nominated. Perhaps if he'd gotten this nomination a bit earlier, Marvel wouldn't have decided to take a pass on him for Doctor Strange. Yet the guy they did choose, Benedict Cumberbatch, has his first Oscar nomination this year as well. But when asked about losing the Doctor Strange role, Hawke has said he doesn't know if franchise filmmaking is his bag, which is totally cool. And this nomination will allow Hawke to keep on doing what he's doing. And in about 20 years, he'll be in big demand if he's still doing what he's doing, and he probably will be.
Edward Norton, Birdman.
Whoa! Remember this guy? Back in the day, his career was on fire. Almost back-to-back nominations in the late 1990s for Primal Fear and American History X put him on the shortlist for practically every prestige movie at the time. Not to mention Fight Club. That won Edward Norton the fanboy favor in addition to the critical favor he already possessed. Think an early version of Tom Hardy or Jake Gyllenhaal. And Norton did want to take a crack at franchise filmmaking, first with smaller roles in Red Dragon and The Italian Job, but then Marvel cast him as their second big-screen incarnation of the Hulk. But alas, while Bruce Banner isn't very likable when he's angry, apparently neither is Norton. Rumors began to plague Norton that he was difficult to work with and seemed to reach a frenzy with 2008's The Incredible Hulk. And what's worse, he didn't have the box office numbers to offset his supposed bad attitude. Now, Norton to this day says those rumors aren't true, but then again, he has had a lot of trouble getting work since his turn as the Hulk, and Marvel didn't invite him back for the Avengers, even though he made it known he wanted to return. Uh-oh, sounds like it's time for a mea culpa. And that's what Norton is doing with Birdman, playing a character of, well, pretty much himself, a spoiled, egotistical artiste who hasn't been able to achieve mainstream success. And it's no accident that his character taunts the producers in the film that they could replace him with Ryan Gosling, who's also rumored to be quite difficult to work with. So this nomination might be the industry extending an olive branch to Norton in return. And it probably also helps that Wes Anderson has taken him in, casting him first in Moonrise Kingdom and then again in one of this year's other big awards contenders, the Grand Budapest Hotel. But the only thing that's going to truly help Norton is, if he's nice on set.
Mark Ruffalo, Foxcatcher.
Oh, and here's the new Hulk. Awkward, but probably less awkward than if Mark Ruffalo had a real shot at winning here. But this nomination is just another piece of evidence that Ruffalo is at the height of his career. He burst onto the scene in 2000 with Kenneth Lonergan's You Can Count on Me, where critics compared him to a young Marlon Brando. Yet he didn't score either of the film's 2 Oscar nominations. And he genuinely struggled after that, bouncing around from genre to genre. But in 2010, Ruffalo had a solid box office hit with Shutter Island. He played a supporting role in the Scorsese and DiCaprio thriller, plus a strong turn in The Kids Are All Right, for which he received his first Oscar nomination. That put him on Joss Whedon's radar, who put him on Marvel's radar. And suddenly Ruffalo was the new Bruce Banner, who, by the way, turned out to be wildly popular with moviegoers in the role, breathing new life into what had come to be considered a jinxed character. But then Ruffalo also had another big box office hit with Now You See Me the very next year. Yes, after a long drought, it's not just raining but pouring, as Ruffalo has the career every actor dreams of. Big box office hits alongside critically acclaimed films. Plus, he's a nice selling point for Marvel. Surely it helps to be able to point out to other actors that you can join the Marvel Cinematic Universe and still be respected by the industry.
J.K. Simmons, Whiplash.
So, what do J. Jonah Jameson, Tenzin, and the yellow peanut M&M have in common? They're all about to win an Oscar. Yes, we've saved the best for last, and by that I mean the winner. After never really being nominated for, well, anything, Simmons has won pretty much every Best Supporting Actor award there is for his turn in Whiplash, and the Oscars are expected to be no different. That's a pretty awesome crowning achievement for an actor who began his career back in the 1980s on the New York stage before beginning his television and movie career in 1994. In fact, Simmons is best known for his TV work, from Law & Order to Oz to The Legend of Korra to his Farmers Insurance commercials. And of course, there's his role as J. Jonah Jameson in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, a role for which he was the fan-favorite casting choice. Interestingly, he is being honored for a more realistic depiction of Jameson's outbursts and their consequences. Simmons has been, in short, a working actor who enjoyed none of the glory, box office or critical, of the other nominees. That's an impressive narrative, which is surely helping to win over Academy voters, many of them long-working actors whose work still hasn't been recognized. Plus, the cherry on top is that this nomination and probable win are helping Simmons reach yet another level in his career. Legendary Pictures recently signed him up for Kong Skull Island, but not as a supporting, as one of the freaking leads. And those are the Best Supporting Actor nominees. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below and also to vote in Beyond the Trailer's annual Oscar poll via the link in the video description. I'm Grace Randolph, and I hope you'll check out the rest of BTT's Oscar coverage right now.